Welcome back to part 3, picking up where we left off on the last one. I think we're about 12:20 at night, so just a little after midnight here. So let's just jump right in. Let's get this knocked out so you guys can see what else we've got. Okay, sounds like a little tap, little knock. And then as you heard there, it sounds like some sort of a much closer stick, almost like a double tap. All right, moving along. We're going to go through this one pretty quick. There's a lot to cover. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on each one until we get to something that's a little bit more maybe significant. Okay, what's weird about this one is we've got a lot of owls, different types. We've got screech owls. We've also got the barred owl. So the screech owls are this, right? That kind of that high-pitched hook right there. So what we've got here is, I'm pretty sure it's a barred owl, but listen, it sounds like a crow. So this is just a little bit unusual for a barred owl. And I think it still is a barred owl, but I just always like to highlight anything that's not usual, not the normal thing. So if I hear it again later, I'm not going to be confused. So once more, let's just listen to just, it's got that barred owl as they start getting crazy. But it does sound like a crow. And then in this other little part here sounds even stranger. Okay, so I just thought that was a little bit interesting, kind of a little bookmark. So let's move down here. And this is, I think, yeah, so these are going to be coyote howls. So let's just listen to what we've got. This one, I think, is pretty high-pitched. At first, it doesn't really sound like a coyote, but then once we see what happens afterwards, it's pretty obvious. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. So coyote, a little bit of a little coyote howl there. It's up pretty high in frequency. I mean, we're almost to 1,000. So that's kind of high for something like a Sasquatch. But it's definitely the coyote. We hear it barking here. And as it's barking, we get this lower howl that is right in the range that we normally would see something like a Sasquatch. It's definitely closer. And if you look, we've got stacking. So we've got the multiple signatures here. So let's listen to that, because I think it's definitely not the same coyote as what is going on right here. But it's going to come back. This guy here is going to come back right there as well. So I'm going to start it from here. All right, so we have quite a few things going on here. This is our great horned owl down here. And then we've got the barred owls also here. And at the tail end, there's the interesting part of this is there's this little sound. It's not very loud, it's very subtle, but it's kind of low. I just thought it was a bit interesting. It's right here. Just a little bit lower. Not sure what we've got, but it is interesting. Okay. Now what we've got here, I believe, is a series of knocks. I'm going to just back it up a little bit. So this could be one of those kind of call response things because it sounds like it's spread out. So you can barely hear that last one. But this one is clearly in the right ear, and these sound like they're a little bit more in the left ear. The first one, that could just be a stick break. That one sounded more distant and stronger. Same with that. Yeah, that's just barely audible. Okay. This one here is probably another knock. Pretty good one. It almost sounds like something steps up to whatever it is that it hits. And very clearly in the right ear. I think there's another. Yeah. Don't remember this one, so let's see what it is. Yeah, that's interesting. So that's a ping. Or it could be one of those mouth pops, but definitely a different frequency. Almost sounded like it was metal. Okay, let's see what we have here. This looks interesting. Great. It's pretty much coyotes there. That was a great horned owl at the beginning. And then a cow. So it's a full chorus. Bet you can't guess what this is going to be right here. And then some more coyotes. So look, that's that same one. It's closer than the others. We've got that stacking. All right, I'm going to stop it there because that just gets all kind of crazy. There's so many, and it's so distant that it just becomes this cloud of sound. So there's really not much to hear there. So let's scoot to this part. Isn't it crazy how it just ends? And then the great horned owl gets the last word in. All right, so that's going to do it for this clip. Okay, so let's see what we've got right here. Let me zoom in a little closer because I can't even tell what this is. It's going to be subtle, whatever it is. Gosh, can't even hear that. Moving along. Oh, that was another ping. Okay, that was real strange. Another ping, and then like a kick, and then another little ping. So I don't know if that is some sort of just natural thing happening, or if something is trying to do some signaling. Who knows? Okay, that was a pretty good knock. Okay, that was actually 3 knocks. And they seem like they come from different places. Yeah, real weird. I don't remember if this is... No, it's just still very close. And that one, though, I don't know, those could be acorns falling too. I'm telling you, there's so many knocks that it just started to drive me crazy. Like, I was not believing that that's what they were. It's an interesting little flyby. There's going to be an upcoming video on some really strange stuff that I got just very recently. That's a pretty good knock. Yeah, so there's nothing else that follows it. And those are the ones that I think are the strongest to be a knock. It's when you don't have anything kind of falling to the ground afterwards or crashing or anything that would make it more natural. This is something that's walking around. Let's have a listen. Okay, so I don't know if this is bipedal. Like I've said before, I'm just not really good yet at telling if something is bipedal or if it's walking on 4 legs. So that can be hashed out at a later time. But did you hear this part right here? So to me, listen to this again, and then I'll tell you what I think it is. All right, you've heard me say that these microphones are very sensitive and they pick up a lot. I think this is the sound of a stomach gurgling or growling. Do you hear it? Whatever it is kind of has stopped here. And a little knock there in the distance. And I think somebody is just driving by in their truck or something with their music playing. Anyway, that little gurgle sound, I've heard that on my horse before, so I think that's what that is. So I thought that was interesting. And it may not have been standing right next to the microphone, but if it was within maybe 10, 15 feet, I think it would pick it up. Okay, so here's this one. So always the Bardell to make things fun, right? Yeah, so I don't know what this is. It's, you know, walking around and tapping on stuff. Just thought that was kind of interesting. Let's see what we've got here. So, you know, I don't know what this is. I hear this owl and the cow, and then this sounded like a tree about to fall over, but it never hits the ground. Right? Like I'm waiting for this thud. It sounds like either a giant branch broke, but there's no thud. There's nothing hitting the ground. Isn't that strange? So I guess it was just ripped off the tree and held on to, maybe so that it can come along and bang it on a tree a little bit later. I don't know. Let's see what this is. Okay, some kind of an animal. And I think this is it here too. I think it's going to be a bird because there's no footsteps and it's traveling quite a distance. Like this third one here was pretty far away. So some sort of a bird, I think. Although it does sound kind of like frog. All right, this is the last one on this clip. Give it a chance to populate. All right, that one might be a little hard to hear. It's real low right here. Some sort of a grunt, maybe. All right, so it looks like we've got something here. They're not close because it's very cloudy. I think it might be barred owls getting crazy. Or coyotes. All right, so just some yappy coyote. Oh, looky there. So those were the further away coyotes, and then here's going to be our close-up or closer response. I love how it will sit there and howl, and then it will wait and listen to its own echo. You know we're close because here we are again with our stacking. There's always that guy at the end. I think they do that when they hear a plane or a train coming. As you can see, these parallel lines down here. There's I think it's a plane that's coming over. And that's, for some reason, that really gets them going. And then here's our last group. Sorry, did I say last? Should have said next. Okay, so look, this is a beautiful little pink cloud here, right? So nothing is going to be close. A lot of echo. Just the sounds very diffused. So all of that is further away, but what we do have, as you can see, is this little hook here, which is going to go up and hold out, come down and pitch a little bit. Does look like a coyote, but let's listen. Oh, shoot, I forgot to push this there. It's almost unbearable. I want to play this part again. Yeah. Closer, kind of by itself. And then same thing here. Yeah, so I guess that's a coyote and it's talking to the others. Could be something else. All right, let's see what we have here. Sounds like a little knock. Again, nothing after it, just the knock. Nothing hitting the ground. Okay, so not sure what this is, but it's not going to be close, so listen closely. Okay, so this is in the distance. So we've got a knock here. My marker's a little behind. We've got a knock, and then almost a ping. Maybe not a ping. Maybe a tap. Okay, let's see what this is. So that's a barred owl or something trying to sound like a barred owl. The only thing that's strange about it is that it's just a little hoo-ah and there's nothing else following it. But I do get those occasionally. So that doesn't mean that it's not a barred owl. But just because it's by itself here and there's no follow-up to it for a while, then it makes it a little bit strange. I think this is a cow here. Yeah, it's a cow. Okay, so getting through this pretty quick now. Not sure what this is. Let's listen. Yeah, that's real odd. I mean, what the heck? What is this thing doing? It sounds like it takes something apart and then rubs it and then does something. Weird. Not even sure what the heck that is. There's so many of these weird things. Okie dokie, let's check this one out. All right, listen to this again. It sounds like a knock. It's just kind of funny how that owl goes, woo. Okay, so when you spend too many hours listening to audio, you look for things to keep yourself entertained. This is going to be maybe a knock. Yep, sounded like a knock. Doesn't sound like somebody's stepping on something. Okay, so this is a plane, I think, that's going over, but while the plane's going over, I think this will be a knock. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, could these be something like a Sasquatch just making a vocalization, doing a little knock? Sure, why not? Can't prove anything, so why the heck not? Okay, looks like we've got a knock here. Yeah, sounds like a knock to me. Okay, so this one won't be a knock. This is going to be some sort of vocalization. I don't know what it is, so let's hear. Okay, so that's probably going to be a barred owl scream. This part should be the rest of the little barred owl thing. Yeah. Just a barred owl. Yeah, this is a good thing to show because it looks like it's going to be a big, strong knock, and it's just a very close acorn or something. Maybe hit the mic. Okay, so we only had 2 on that one. Okay, I'm not sure what this is, so let's listen. Still not sure what that is. Could be just a bird. Okay. All right, just a strange whistle. Something I don't normally hear, that's all. Okay, this is a little more interesting. Kind of crazy how the barred owls and the coyotes kind of work together. Although these right here, those were kind of long. Those are long howls, so you never know. Okay, who cooks for you? We know. And then here we are with the close coyotes. Okay, then it all becomes very muddy. But those are coyotes. Okay, now we have something interesting here. That was close. Yeah, and you notice we've got that real low frequency piece right here too, just out of nowhere. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's listen to this. Zoom in on this a little bit. This is something flying by and landing, right? So it comes from the right ear and it goes to the left ear and then it lands. Maybe a bug, maybe a bird. It's definitely a soft landing. But my next video is going to cover something that's kind of strange like that. Okay, let's listen to this, see what we've got. Let's zoom in just a little bit more. This one looks pretty interesting. Okay, again, it goes from the right ear to the left ear, and then you can hear like a hit or a landing. But it's kind of that whoosh. Yeah. Probably a bug or a bird. Man, it just sounds so percussive. I know it's close. It could be something that fell and hit, but that thing sounds like it has some force behind it. It's another knock. Okay, this one's a pretty good example of what I'm always trying to listen for whenever I hear one of these knocks. Am I hearing like a break, and then maybe something after that that could be something that broke and fell to the ground? So in this case, I think that's what this is. Except for the fact that it's really percussive at the beginning. But you hear that pop at the end. Maybe it's not related, because actually I'm going to play it one more time, but listen after that last pop, then there's a step, so that might be part of the stepping. So something's moving around too. Okay, let's take a listen. Okay, so coyotes. Yeah, pretty sure that's just some coyotes. And looks like they're going to town. Looks like our good old screech owl there. Okay, sounded like a distant knock. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing around there that accounts for what that sound would be if somebody stepped on it. I don't know. That was a weird one. Okay, another knock. Another knock or break. Anybody know what that might be? I mean, it's just about daybreak, so it could be a dove. It's real weird. Okay, yeah, same thing. Yeah, I think it's some sort of a bird. I think it was just more of the little critter moving around. Yep. All right, so it's pretty sure that this is daybreak here. So, okay, we're going to end the video there. That actually takes care of this entire evening. Part 3, little lackluster. Yeah, I know. Just kind of wanted to get this done because our next video is going to be really interesting. I need you guys to help me out with it. I've recorded something on 2 different microphone rigs that's passing in between, and I don't have an explanation for it. So I'm going to need your help. Give me a little bit of time to get it put together because I really want to do a proper analysis on it. So I guess please subscribe, hit the like, thumbs up, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. And we'll get this out to you quick.